Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, I'm Chris. I've been in the IT field for over 20 years, and today we're going to take a look at what Pop! OS has been doing with their Cosmic desktop. So I've got their website pulled up here, got the frosted glass update, and they've got a screenshot down here, subtle and balanced, and then they've got see-through frosted glass, so that's what that looks like. Nearly opaque, not very see-through. Consistent corners. So now the GNOME and KDE applications look better. It says over time KDE apps may start supporting the Wayland blur protocol, improving cross-desktop appearance. Workspaces overview search, launcher search. So you've got your workspaces here and then you can search between them. Application library search. So they've got the search bar here, they've typed in game and all the games from Steam looks like they popped up there. Workspaces cycling option. Cycle from the last to first workspace or stop at the last workspace. Set your preferences in settings, desktop workspaces. New Cosmic System Monitor. Okay, this is what I want to check out today. View all your resources in the top process for each resource from the dashboard. And I do have this installed on physical hardware, so we'll be able to check that out. When I run through the system monitor, we'll be able to check out the GPU, CPU and memory on physical hardware. Resource detail page shows detailed graphs and top processes to give resource graphs more context. New features throughout, they're basically saying features, quality improvements, productivity enhancements since the release. Ellipses text, Cosmic Text, our pure Rust text handling library gains ellipsis support and it's been implemented throughout the desktop. So if the file name is too long, you can see, I'll have to zoom in here on the video, but you can see the ... in the middle of the file name now. Tab, drag and drop in Cosmic Apps. Grab, drag and drop tabs in Cosmic Files, Edit, and Terminal. New Cosmic Files feature. It's become faster, more productive, privacy conscious with improvements to file management, navigation, and privacy controls. And it looks like they've got a screenshot there. Maybe they've right-clicked, open a new tab, open a new window. New Cosmic Terminal features. Cosmic Terminal gives you more control over how you work with configurable shortcuts, improved tab workflows, and enhanced support for different input methods. Hold Shift and click to add a selection. Add a -- working directory argument. Copy link added to context menu. Configurable shortcuts. Tab, drag and drop. Option to open new tabs in current directory. Option to open new windows in current directory. And IME support. New Cosmic Setting features. Cosmic Settings makes personalization and system management easier with improved search, networking, and customization options. Reassign your caps lock key to better match the way you work. I don't know why they're calling out the caps lock key there, but okay. Type to search, screen reader, shortcut, support for two-factor authentication VPN connections, option to apply RON theme files via the CLI, Wi-Fi adds search functionality for filtering Wi-Fi networks, option to swap control with caps lock, there's caps lock again, setting to toggle workspace wrapping, passkey pin display dialog for Bluetooth keyboard pairing. I've already set up my Bluetooth keyboard. I do not remember seeing a new dialog box for that, but maybe it was new. New Cosmic Player features. Cosmic Player offers a smoother viewing experience with continuous playback, quick skip controls, and smarter audio handling. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the ISO, which I've already got this installed, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab the ISO again so I can put it on a VM to run through the install procedure with everybody. I'll have timestamps below, so if you don't need to know how to install Pop! OS, you can skip through. I'm gonna let this download and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, and our download did complete, so now I'll close Firefox and let's go into our applications, type in Fedora Media Writer. And this is the Flatpak, I just got it off of FlatHub. You wanna select your ISO, click next. So make sure your USB drive shows up. If not, plug that in and select it, then hit select. Go to Downloads, Pop! OS, open, then click on Write. Let that write to your USB stick. And then on reboot, your boot key is going to be F9 through F12. Boot up to your USB stick, press enter. That'll launch the installer and I'll meet you there. All right, and we're at the installer. We're just going to select English. Select your language, keyboard layout. Just going to do a clean install. Select your hard drive, erase and install. Put in your name, super secret password. You can encrypt your drive if you'd like. I'm going to skip that for the demo. And that's literally it. What was that, like 5 or 6 slides in this wizard? So very, very easy to install. So I'm going to let this install and I'll see you at the first boot. All right, and this is our first login. So let's go into the Cosmic Store and go to Updates. Let's check for updates. And it says we got 6 packages. Go ahead and update those. Put in our password. That was very fast. So I'll go ahead and give it a reboot, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, and fast fetch, htop, and btop are not installed. So let's go ahead and go grab those. Apt install, fast fetch, btop, and htop. Can't find fast fetch. What about neofetch? That's fine. We'll use neofetch then. All right, let's kick it off with neofetch. You can see we're running Pop! OS 24.04, kernel 7.0.11, a little over 1900 Debian packages, and 10 Flatpaks. We're running shell bash 5.2.21, and the desktop environment, of course, is Cosmic. We're running this on my AMD Ryzen 5 5600 with 12 cores at 4.5 gigs, and my NVIDIA GPU. The NVIDIA GPU, it's not showing up as a 5060 Ti, so that's kind of strange. Let's see if we can do a GLX gears to see if I actually do have hardware acceleration. Okay, it comes in the Mesa Utils package, so we'll grab that real quick. GLX gears does run, it looks smooth too. Let's see, the frame rate should be approximately the refresh rate of my monitor. My monitor is 60 Hertz, so 60 FPS makes sense. That is strange. Let's go check out NVIDIA SMI. Yeah, it's showing me, I know the driver version's a little old. Should be like 610 by now, but it's only got 595 installed. And it's showing how many watts in the temperature, so looks like I do have acceleration as well. So it's just kind of strange. We'll do a clear. Let's go with an htop. CPU between 123 all the way up to 9%. The memory being used is 2.5 gigs out of 16. Keep in mind I am recording this with OBS Studio. And there's our processes. Control C out of that. Let's go with btop. Memory being used here is 3.5 out of our 16. We've got our disk, our network, and processes. In btop, it looks like it's throwing all the cores together and just doing an average, so 2%. 31 Celsius, our GPU is at 8%, and that's using 2 out of the 8 gigs of GDDR7, 51 Celsius. And there's our processes. That was neofetch, htop, and btop. All right, let's take a look at that new system monitor. The Cosmic System Monitor. Got our application and processes, our CPU, memory, disk, network, and then the GPU and the GPU VRAM. Let me expand this out here. Maybe we can look at this better. All right, so I'm gonna scroll back to the top. We've got our applications. We've got columns for the CPU, memory, GPU, GPU VRAM, and our disk. And then over on the right side, we've got a nice little graphic for our CPU. You can see it's being used 6%, 39 Celsius. Scroll down a little bit more. We've got our memory. 23% is being used, 3.5 gigs. And then it tells us the top offender here is OBS, nearly using a gig to record the screen. And then our disk activity. All right, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. This shows our processes, and its columns are CPU, memory, GPU, GPU VRAM, and disk with the percentages. And the Cosmic Monitor itself is using up nearly 200 meg just to run. 8% GPU, 200 meg of GPU VRAM. And then there's my network. Not really doing anything there. Scroll down a little bit more. We've got our GPU with the graph. It's being utilized 16%. I've got OBS running, and I'm also using the AV1 encoder from my 5060 Ti, so that makes sense. And we're using just under 25% of the VRAM on my GPU at just under 1.2 gigs. So very cool system monitor here. Gives us lots of details on what our system's doing, so I like it. All right, now I'm going to show you how to install software. Let's go down to the Cosmic Store, and we're just going to search for GIMP. There he is. It gives you the name of the software, a little description there, and then if it's a Flatpak or a system package, the GIMP team is the developer, how many downloads it has. It's got a nice little slideshow, and then you scroll down a little bit further, more description. It's got add-ons, what version number, licenses, their website, bug tracker, help, and donation. So I'm just going to scroll back up. Let's do the system installation here. Yeah, it doesn't give us the download size, but I can tell you the Flatpak is going to be a little bit bigger than just the system package. So we'll use the system package. Install install there, put in your password, and then we're just going to click on open. And this is GIMP 2.10. So the Flatpak would be newer as well. I think version 3 something is out. But anyway, that's GIMP, and that's how you install software on Pop! OS. All right, let's take a look at the system tray next. In the top right hand corner, we've got our power, and if we click on that, we can go into settings. We've also got a lock screen, and it tells us the keybind to get to that, and log out. Then we got suspend, restart, and power off. Next to that, we've got our notifications, do not disturb. We can toggle that on and off. Next to that, we've got our power profile. We can go battery saver, balanced, or high performance. We can also go into power and battery settings from there. And we've got our network, our Bluetooth devices, our sound and microphone. Next to that, we've got our tiling mode. You can set new workspaces to open in tiling or floating mode, or you can tile your current workspace. So I'll give you a demonstration here. We're going to navigate windows with super plus the arrow, and then to move windows around, we're going to do shift super arrows. And then if we need to float a window, it's just super G. And we want to do the active hint so it shows us which window we've got activated. So I'll just turn this on. We've got the tiling toggled on. I'm going to open Firefox and Cosmic Files. And you can see how they just snapped into place. If I were to do super plus arrow, that's how we would navigate around. Super T is what opens the terminal. So I'm going to do a super shift and then arrow around, and that's how I can move it around. You can see how you can make this work for your workflow there. So I'm going to super arrow up to highlight the browser. And let's say I wanted to float the browser. It's just super G, and that pops out. I could take my mouse and resize that. If I want to pop it back in, it's just super G again. Super shift arrow to the left again. To swap those, super shift down to pop it back into place. So very cool. And you can kind of get used to tiling within Pop! OS, and then later on, if you wanted to try out a window manager, it would just give you some practice. I'm gonna go ahead and toggle that back off, and then when I toggle it off, you can see how all the windows are just floating again. So if I toggle that back on, and they snap into place, toggle it off, they'll float again. So just a quick example of that. And then to the left of that is OBS, which you won't have. To the left of that is just accessories. You got a screen reader, a magnifier. You can invert the colors. You can turn on high contrast. And at the bottom of that, you've got your accessibility settings. And then to the left of that, you've got your keyboard layout. In the center of the screen, we've got our date and our time. Click on that, you've got your calendar. And then you've got settings for your date, time, and calendar. To the left of that, we've got our applications. You click on that, your application drawer pops out. To the left of that, you get your workspaces. And then at the bottom dock, we've got Cosmic Settings, Cosmic Store, Cosmic Terminal, Cosmic Text Editor, Cosmic Files. We've got our web browser, applications, workspaces, and launcher. And that's a look at the system tray, top bar, and dock. All right, and for this next section, I need to open a few windows, so we'll have an example. I'm wanting to check out the frosted glass, so we're going to go into Appearance, and where is he at? Here he is. Applies frosted glass to the panel and the dock, so it's like top and the bottom here. Let's click on that. You can tell it goes black. Toggled on, it's got that frosted look. Applets applies frosted glass to applet menus on the panel and the dock. So what exactly does that do? Okay, so on the panel and the dock, so if I go up here and I click on this, you can see how it's black now. So if I turn that on, it's got the frosted look. I mean, I could barely see a difference, but it does have it. System interface applies frosted glass to the launcher, application library, workspace overview, and on-screen controls. So toggle that off. And now when I go into the workspaces, you can see it's got the black look. So we toggle that on. Now it's got the frosted. And then Windows. Frosted glass to windows and dialogues. This is probably where our terminal is going to help us see it. Yeah, so you can see when I toggle that on, the glass feature on the actual settings window and the terminal go dark. Let's see what the frost thickness does when we add more to it. That's more, that's default, and that's less. So to me, less looks more see-through than the middle. And then let's do the glass. More is basically black, and less is very see-through. I mean, that looks like a sheet of glass on my screen now. I don't know that I'd be able to do the full. I'll stick with the default for now. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I mean, that is super see-through. Let's do like a fast fetch with that up. Neofetch, I'm sorry, I forgot. If I'm working over here, yeah, that's too distracting for me. I'm not able to concentrate on what's in the focused window when I've got that on. Maybe if you were tiling, so if we turn tiling on, I could see that working out, right? Because you've got nothing behind the window. I could see that working. I'm gonna go middle. To me, that's better. I can see that a lot better. All right, but since we're in here, let's go ahead and do some customization. Let's surround everything with orange. The font's fine, everything else is fine. And let's go back out of here and let's change the panel at the top. I don't need workspaces or the apps. So that looks good. And then let's go to the dock. Let's move him over out of the way. And instead of the dock being on the bottom, let's go left. We can show it on all displays, it's fine. I've only got the one monitor, so it doesn't matter. Gap between the edges of the screen. Nah. And then extend to the edges, that looks good. And then let's go into configure here. I don't need the launcher and I don't need the workspaces. And let's throw the app launcher to the bottom, and then our app tray, and then minimize to the top to give us that Unity feel. I've gotten accustomed to this workflow, so that's what I like now. In just a few clicks, you can see how you can highly customize this desktop, which is really awesome. So let's go ahead and close out of the terminal, and let's go into wallpapers. I'm going to move this out of the way here. And I'll just click through these wallpapers. I know our settings window is pretty big, but hopefully you can see these wallpapers. It's the same. If you've tested out Cosmic before, I don't think there's anything new in here. We'll just stick to something like that. And then while we're in here, let's go into System and About. You can come in here and change the device name. This is going to be my desktop here. And I may end up using this because I think in the Versus videos, when I move my cursor over to the left or the right screen, having that outline, it'll help you visualize that better. So I've got the 16 gig. I'm on my AMD Ryzen 5600 6 core. The GPU is NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060 Ti. So if I go back into the terminal and I do a neofetch, this might just be a neofetch problem. See how it's detecting incorrectly? I think that's just because neofetch hasn't been updated in so long. If we did a fast fetch, it'd probably be right. Okay, so that's actually reading correctly. And then my hard drive is 500 gigs, looks good. Pop! OS 2404. Linux kernel 7.0.11. Desktop environment is Cosmic, running on Wayland. And that's just a quick look at the settings there. And I also have a chance here to give you a sneak peek kind of behind the scenes how I'm recording the video. But if you noticed in the notes, it said that the font has the ellipses now. So you see how this file name's super long. I just covered frosted glass, appearance, wallpapers, and a customization. And in the middle of this file name's got the ... So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Okay, now let's go out and grab the toolbox and see if it works. So we're gonna do a git clone https github.com, the Linux IT guy. Toolbox.git. And then once that downloads, we're gonna cd into that folder. Do a list there it is, it's gonna be Linux. I did a / started typing Linux and hit tab just to make that quicker. All right, nice, and it does run, and over here on the right, it's got the supported distros. It supports Arch, Debian, and Fedora. Of course, Pop! OS is based on Ubuntu 2404 LTS. The bottom left, it shows our package manager is apt. So let's say you come in here and you want to install the Zen browser and you don't want Firefox. You just go into install, select Zen, go to remove, select Firefox, and all in one go, gonna select run. Put in your password. All right, and that did complete, so I'll just close out of that and close the terminal. And we'll go down to applications, and let's see, there's the Zen browser. It is the Flatpak, so it's gonna show a gear icon until you reboot. A calmer internet, nice. I'm gonna skip all this. Next. Here you can pick a cool color. There's green. See if they've got a nice orange to kind of go with our outline. And it's kind of a burnt orange. Yeah, I don't know, I'll just go dark. And then we'll dive in. And you can see we've got the Zen browser installed now. I'll just go ahead and right click on that, pin it to the tray, come up here, let go, and then we can right click on the Firefox and unpin that. And then when I reboot, that Zen browser logo will show up. So I'm going to stop the video here, I'm going to reboot, and I'm just going to show you that. Alright, and I made it back from a reboot. You can see the icon is there, as well as under applications. So who is this distro for? I've had no issues with it. I downloaded the NVIDIA ISO, installed it. I didn't have to touch the drivers. I know it's based on Ubuntu 24.04, but the Cosmic team keeps it up to date. I'll do a neofetch. It's running Linux kernel 7.0.11. So just because it's on that old Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, the System 76 team still keeps it updated. So I would say this distro is great for anybody that has an NVIDIA card that's just wanting to download an ISO, install the operating system, and not worry about drivers. So if you do have an older machine, I would say maybe come in here and toggle this off and see how your system performs with that frosty glass being turned off. With the Cosmic desktop environment, you're getting an environment that's completely built on Rust, so it's super snappy, super responsive. That's going to do it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video with a friend. Here's some other videos you might find helpful as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.